we feel like we've got a lot of info between the 6 of us, and we just need to pass it on to you guys a bit more. Starting off, we're going to run through some breathing work. So all I want you to do is take your shoes off, find a wall, and lie down and put your feet up against the wall. We do this breathing drill just to try and get that kind of neutral spine position. Most of us sit down all day at work, so we kind of force ourselves into extension, which then leads to back pain and all sorts. So, Haley, go feet a bit wider. So we'll just get a little hands on with the ends, make sure we're doing it all right. Using this lax ball is just a simple and easy way to unbreak all this soft tissue work. We don't do it to have a laugh or to stick it in your bum. You know, it is for a purpose really. So start off, we'll start under your feet. We'll go for a couple of minutes under each foot. You're enjoying the ball, aren't you? No. So all you need to do, guys, is just find time to add this in your weekly schedule. Yeah? Okay, let's swap sides. Let's go down to the side. So arm goes in, hand goes on the top, and we're just going to step back and hold here. So we step back on the same arm that we are holding. Starts the movement just like a little bit through his hips. His arms move a little bit. So as you can see, the entry point is quite high. Entry point is pretty close to his crown jewels. So that's where you want it. So you want it that close. If it's going in lower, you're obviously bending your knees too much. Okay, so make sure that the entry point is there. You got that nice straight back at all times. Simple. Okay, let's have a look at you then. So like he's got this arch in his lower back. People talk about, is that bad for your back? No, not really, because you've got no loading. But I mean, starting off, depends how flexible you are, depends how much you want to watch. Maybe not so much to start with. So this is obviously tight. The focus here is drive his chest up and keep all the weight on his upper traps. Okay, so all the weight's on his upper traps from there. Optional as well, either feet, heels up like that, so then you can drive them down, or you can take them wider and go feet down. So, you know, just find what works best for you. But the main thing is keeping this upper back tight here. Even when you bench throughout the whole movement, okay, that's got to stay solid. From there, he'll unhook the bar. Okay, now see there how his chest didn't move. Okay, just do that again, Z, and go flop. So he's got a nice chest up there, but when you unrack, some people will do this. And then you just go flat. So that's what we don't want. We want to keep that chest up. So the key thing is, obviously when you're pulling it, think of pulling the bar through your lats here. So you pull the bar down like that. So we unhook. So his chest is up, his abs should be tight. Oh. Anyone else want to feel that? Oh. Go on, Bleezy.
All right.
Okay, so his chest is up, his abs are tight, he's squeezing his bum, he's driving his heels down. The bar comes down to about sternum height. So, touch and go. So the focus needs to be, don't let the bar come to you, you take your chest to the bar. So always keep that in mind. Don't just hang around and wait. If you push your chest up to the bar, you'll keep that back a lot tighter. Okay, and again, Z. Right, it needs to be a little bit lower. Because see his forearms? Your forearms want to be vertical, because that's where you're going to be most powerful. Kind of drive through your elbow and up. So again. So all this, stay still. Off you go. So just like 5 reps. Anyone want to come and hit him in his abs? So that his abs should be solid throughout the whole lift. So someone, everything should be solid. Nothing should move.
All right. Steady on.
So again, focus here. Squeeze the bar as tight as you can. Touch and go. All right. Everyone got that? Let's go. Yes. That's it. And see how that bar is kind of glued to her body. So when people deadlift, sometimes they wear football socks just to stop all that scraping. The hardest part with deadlifting sometimes is going down. So when you go down, think of doing like a bit of a hip hinge or like a kettlebell swing where we push the bum back first, then when the bar's past the knees, then you bend on the knees. So the bar is nice and tight. The bar stays tight to her body because her lats are tight here.
Shave your legs with the bar, girl.
So think of pulling the bar in like this way. And then as the bar passes your knees, hips come through and you squeeze your bum, you finish the movement. Don't hyperextend at the top, you just kind of straighten it up. Any questions there? Width is just outside the shoulder width. So and again, kind of going back to that breathing drill. So when she sets up, she'll take a deep breath and then hold just before she lifts.
Brace.
Yeah, bracing. So whether you want to hold, reset every time or reset after 2 or 3 reps is, you know, it's a bit optional, that one.
Does anyone know what it means when you say you take the slack out of the bar? No. So you're creating that tension, the bottom, that torque. So when you create the tension, it feels lighter. If you keep it loose, so say for example, if I'm lifting, keeping it loose, bum doesn't look as tight. Whereas if I tighten up my lats, chest up, squeeze the bar, smooth the rep.
So this slack here, that there, you want to kind of pull that out of the bar before doing your lift. So when she goes into position, she pulls it out and then goes, okay? Sumo lift is just a wider stance. Certain body types are better for sumo lifters. Longer body, shorter legs. If your hips are jacked up, then sumo might feel a bit more comfortable. So sumo stance, exactly the same, except now you've got a wide stance, the hands are on the inside of the bar. Sit back, everything's the same. You pull yourself down into the bar, chest stays up, and you drive through. The only difference is this will hit your bum and back of your legs a bit more, whereas the other one will hit probably a bit more on your lower back. There's no better, there's no worse, there's no right or wrong. They're both top lifts. Okay. Any questions?
Yeah. I see some people do this way and that way.
Yeah.
So you only use that when you really need it.
Right.
So obviously deadlift is a lot about grip. So try and keep that grip for as long as you can.
Yeah.
And when you feel you have to think about your grip more than your form, then go to that.
Is that for heavier?
Yeah. Be just a bit more rigid. Chest up. That's it. Lift. Now controlled on the way down. That's better. Controlled on the way down. Good. And then just keep that bar a little bit closer to your body. Want to scrape in those shins. From there, pull yourself under the bar. So we've got kind of different positions. You can either go like high bar, low bar, whatever, but you know, kind of not to overcomplicate it. High bar is on your upper traps, low bar is more down on your rear delts. So starting off, I'll probably say just go high bar. So just rack it again, please, rack it again. So when we get into that position there, think of pulling the bar down onto you. Don't just let it rest, pull it down so then you're nice and tight in here. From there, I would say try and step back within like 3 or 4 steps. Don't be stepping back like I see some people going, they're way over here. So you only need 3 or 4 steps to step back. Squat stance again depends on your hip mobility, depends on your kind of body posture. So please, you going for there? So kind of starting off, the focus is to sit back and to push the knees out. So her first movement is going to be hips back. Okay?
Okay.
Go. As you can see, Bleasy's quite bendy as well. So that's quite a deep squat. I don't expect that from everyone really.
Drop it like a squat.
So the focus throughout the whole movement is to pull this tight here, sitting back. Again, do that breathing thing either at the start of every rep. Just rack it again a minute, rack it again. One thing that I want to say is, you know, kind of, say before you squat, you get your kind of squat stance. Start with your feet straight and then screw your feet into the floor. So that just kind of creates that little bit of torque in your hips. So when kind of, obviously then when you squat naturally, your knees will kind of naturally go out. Okay, so just do that please. So underneath, pull the bar down tight, couple of steps back, rotate your feet, screw them in, and then sit back and knees out. So then she's got tension throughout the whole body, and that's quite a good squat.
Quite a good squat.
Yeah. And rack it. Right, okay, let's split up then. Same groups, let's have a look. Sit back. And then all I'd say is just keeping that tension here, keeping the abs tight. Do you know what I mean? You know when I say keep the abs tight, you kind of know what to do. So you breathe in. Yeah, so breathe in and hold. Yeah. You're doing it for now, you're doing it for 5 years' time, 10 years' time. And that's just what you got to keep in mind. Think of, do you want to be able to pick up your grandkids when you're 70 years old?